Hey, what's going on, guys? James Birdie 33 here. Today I just wanted to give my thoughts on the most recent King of the Dot title match. It was Charron versus Pat Stay. King of the Dot, absolutely love it. Been following them for probably close to 2 years now. Absolutely love the battle rap scene, the battle rap community. Love what they're doing with it. A lot of controversy over the last battle, Pat Stay versus Charron, so I just wanted to give my thoughts on it, who I thought won, who I thought lost, and my reasoning behind it, of course. So just to state right off the bat, I think Pat Stay just edged it over Charron. Charron, one of his best battles of all time, but there's just nothing you can do against Pat Stay. As soon as he started his first round, you just knew he was all into this battle. He was not going to let Charron take his title away. He was just going to give it everything he had, and it showed. And then after that, he just full-on starts picking Charron apart. Pretty much just starts ragging on him, exploiting how he just copies everyone's style. He has a great line where he's like, I innovate, you imitate. And it's just like, that is pretty much the theme of his round, just showing that he'll never be the one that someone else is looking up to as a battle rapper. Instead, he'll just kind of be the battle rapper that's always trying to prove himself against the top tiers like Pat Stay, who can just walk on stage and get a crowd reaction right off the bat. After that, Pat Stay starts breaking down his style. He starts saying he's mechanical, he's always doing the same stuff. He talks about how his style in the beginning was more of a nerd, but now all of a sudden he's turning into a gangster. Just completely picking apart Charron's battle rap personality, you know? And it's awesome. He throws in a little freestyle when he's reciting a bar about a gun line Charron did. He's like, oh, you're gonna buck the heater, you little fucking wiener, and it's dope because, you know, it's like all freestyle, but he integrates it so perfectly with his lines. However, after a while, his impressions of Charron, I don't know, to me they just got a little corny. How he was doing the little high-pitched voice once was enough, but when he kind of kept falling back on that, I was like, alright, you know, I'm ready for something new. But overall, Pat Stay's first round, he came out swinging. Charron had a great round too, though. He used a lot of popular styles that won crowd reaction in previous battles, like his whole "I'm in aggressive mood," scheme. He redid the words and used it against Pat, which was awesome. And he had one of my absolute favorite, you want to know what it rhymes with lines, where he called Pat Stay out for ducking him, and he was like, you want to know what rhymes with sucker free? Ducking me, and it was just awesome, you know, it fit perfectly. Another thing I love about Charron is he can intertwine social media and what's like new and current, you know, and his bar is great. He has a great line about the Sons of Anarchy series finale. I'm not going to say it, but it's one of the coolest bars that he says in the first round. But overall, the way that Pat Stay was just able to pick apart Charron's battle rap persona just edged the round to him. Round 2, however, I did give to Charron. And honestly, just because Pat Stay's angle, I get where he was coming from, and I get that he was trying to, you know, show that he's, you know, every element. He can be smooth and slick as well as be aggressive and have bars, but his jokes, I don't know, they just, you know, went a little too far in this round. He kept, you know, saying the same thing over and over again, which, you know, we probably know is not true. And even though in the end of the round he starts, you know, explaining his whole scheme and like telling Charron, this is a battle you're gonna learn a lesson from, like saying it's all part of his plan, how to be versatile, it just was too little too late for the round for me, unfortunately. One of the main reasons I gave round 2 to Charron also was just because right off the top he was in it with some crazy rebuttals. He had a crazy one about Seattle, you know, how they'd be surprised when they pass away, like what they did in the game. An absolutely crazy rebuttal involving Slaughterhouse, Crooked Eye, Joe Budden, all those people. Absolutely just had my mouth dropped. Like, how did he think of that fast? And that's one thing I love about Charron, is how great of a freestyler he is. But, you know, he just tried to get a little too tough again in this round, which was his downfall, where, you know, started going up to Pat and be like, look at me when I'm killing you. And then as soon as he said that, started backing up away from Pat when Pat, you know, got in his face. So when he did that, the punches, they just didn't land as hard as they should. And on top of that, Pat Stay even did like a little kissy face. He was like, and Charron was like just laughing it off like it was nothing. So at this point, I was going into the third round, 1-1, all came down to this. And honestly, the third round was absolutely crazy from both of them. Starting with Charron, this is honestly probably one of the most personal battles he has ever done. He just got all in Pat Stay's face. Charron also had a great angle about the kid who said his cancer got cured by Pat Stay. The kid Pat Stay was talking about in his battle versus Diz, whose name was Cole Wally, and pretty much said that that was actually never Pat Stay. You know, Pat Stay never did that, and it was actually Holohan who did that. And then started calling out the fact that Pat Stay's right-hand man, Holohan, wasn't even on stage, and saying that it was because Pat Stay said if he was there and had actually been there to confirm the stories that Charron was saying, like Charron had planned, that there would just be a huge fight, and he didn't let it happen, or Danik wouldn't let it happen either. But despite Charron not fully being able to use that angle, I still think Pat Stay took the third round. After that, he just gets all up in Charron's face saying why he is the champion, his name is engraved in the chain, he saved King of the Dot from all the American rappers, and just continues to demonstrate how he's always going to be the leader, he's always going to be top dog, always going to be number one, always going to be lieutenant and captain. Just, you know, he is the champ, and he's proven it right there to Charron, just right in his face. To finish off his third round, he just, you know, stays in Charron's face, just is picking him apart, saying, I'm who you struggle to be, you know, saying that Charron's insecurities are only there because of Pat Stay's perfections, saying how he'll never, ever, ever be king. He even goes as far as to have Charron stand in his spot just so that he can feel what it's like to be champ, just so Pat Stay can snatch it right back away from him, saying, you can hold down my spot, but you'll still never be king. Just completely dominating him. It's a great finish to the battle. Pat Stay just completely kills it, in my opinion. He wins it 2-1. So thanks for watching. Feel free to drop a comment down below and say who you think won and why. Feel free to tell me what some of your favorite lines out of the battle were. Let me know what other battles you guys would like to hear my opinion on. And once again, thanks for watching. Pat Stay still champ.